Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Here we are for deadline day. Um we're here finally. It's been a painful mercato, right? Painful transfer market for Interisti. But it's kind of worked out in the end, if we take our reactions from the beginning till now, I think there's going to be a lot of difference in how we reacted at the beginning to how we're feeling right now. A lot of maybe some overreaction in the middle, you know some of it was probably very much deserved, some of the reaction, but now we're finally here, 31st of August. It's finally, I mean, I'm happy that it's finally coming over to that is finishing, to be honest. It's been a very painful transfer market. There's been so much it's been the worst in terms of outgoing rumors, if you know what I mean. It's always loads of rumors about incoming. Like we were linked with like 55 different footballers, and then at the end we only get like 3 of them anyway. But on the outgoing one this time, it was just been so bad, hasn't it? Like Lautaro here, like all the Premier League clubs, Arsenal, Spurs, and then Lukaku, and then Hakimi. And then it was liquidation. The whole team is gonna get sold now. De Vrij is gonna go, Brozovic is gonna go, everyone's gonna go, Bastoni's gonna go. So it was not an enjoyable transfer window. It was and we almost became, like, at the beginning especially, we were like the laughing stock of the footballing world, wasn't it? Like everyone was like, look at Inter dismantling their team, look at that. But two match days down in the Serie A, and everything is quieting down, isn't it? Everyone's like, oh, okay, maybe they haven't dismantled the squad, and maybe they are better than we thought they are, which is it's been funny to see, and it's been nice to see. But yeah, thank you everyone that's joining in, and thank you everyone that's commenting your Mercato rating out of 10. We'll go through all of that today. Yeah, I'll go by comment. I'll see what you guys are saying, and then I'll give you my one as well. Let's see what everyone is saying, and I'll go through the news as well, the latest news. I'm going to try to take you through the latest Inter news. So well, there's nothing really coming in, so it's going to be the guys going out, but you never know, something might pop off whilst we're going live. Beppe and Auxilio might have worked something in the background. You never know. Deadline day is that type of day. It's actually a much more calmer deadline day actually than I expected, especially for Inter. I knew it was gonna wind up towards the end, but we actually got done our business just before. Last week Correa's last thing we did. Now it's all on the outgoing side of things, so it's sleepy deadline day for us. We could just be chilling, but Beppe and Auxilius are still busy trying to get rid of dead wood. Right, let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Bellius Fistaloni says 8 out of 10, and Freddie agrees with him, 8 out of 10. Hussein is much more harsh on the Mercato rating with a 5 out of 10 because of no substitute for Handanovic, which I can understand. Got Badr in the house. What's up, bro? Julian, another kind of midway point, 6.5. Belu says he found the channel a couple of days ago, loving the content. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I realized that you're new to the channel. I haven't seen your name before, but yeah, glad to have you on board, bro. Bjorn says, under the circumstances, 7.5. Would have loved signing Nandes. Yeah, that's another good, good rating there. Kuro Black says 8. Smiley, he's very happy with the 8.5. Wow. Smiley is a very positive individual, so I'm not surprised there. Big up Uncle Shama, second star on the way. Yes, sir. Second star will be on the way as we speak. Ahmed says we got rid of Brikaku. That alone makes it 11 out of 10. Wow. Brikaku's catching so many jokes. Last when the Chelsea played what did they play? Liverpool. And yeah, all the jokes are flying about Brikaku, the touch, and those videos are flying around already when he leaves the ball behind. And now it's not our job to defend him. Now we just watch from a distance, and some of us do laugh with them, but I'm just like, not even taking part. I'm not even liking the tweet. I'm not, replying to them. There's nothing. I just, watch from a distance and, maybe laugh here and there. I know it may seem harsh, Gerard says, but we should have subbed off Honda versus Verona. The window's closing, and we don't know how much we can trust Radu and Cordas. Yeah, I think that is the underlying issue that I'm talking about in my Mercato review as well. The Handanovic. I mean, you can't sub off a keeper, bro. Like he made one mistake. Like the mistake, especially, is a mistake that he usually doesn't make. The passing mistake, he's usually fine with his feet. But you don't take your keeper off. That's way too harsh. That's way too harsh. 9 had Hakimi stayed. Wow, Edwin. Yeah, I mean Hakimi is. We've seen how he's balling out at PSG already. I mean, he's got like 2 goals and 2 assists or something already, or a goal and 2 assists. Like he's already, balling out as we expected. I mean, there's no surprise. He's the best in his position. Bellew says, I feel like we need to see how good Dumfries really is before giving a definitive vote. For 15 million, it's a low risk investment, so it can't be too bad. Yeah, I mean, Dumfries is definitely my. I've voiced my opinion on Dumfries. Everyone will seem to be very on the hype train for Dumfries at the Euros, but I wasn't really sold on him that much. So he's definitely one that I'm going to be watching closely. But that's the thing about giving Mercato ratings. Sometimes you have these players that you haven't really watched, and you have to just give your assessment at this point, but then you might be proven wrong. And I'm always happy to be proven wrong if I'm being negative over someone. 7 says there's no Handanovic replacement. Okay, Freddie took it down a notch from his 8. The great one into A. Great channel, by the way, guys. Check his channel out. It's an all-time great channel. He posts like classic into matches, like full matches. So yeah, make sure you check out the channel. Great one into. Can't reach top 4 now. Serie A favorites. Yeah. I mean, people that said that Inter can't reach the top 4 just because we lost Lukaku and Hakimi, they were out of their minds completely, and you just have to question their footballing knowledge, really, if they're going that far. 8 out of 10. We need a solid Honda backup. Yep. So I'm seeing that pattern in most of the comments, the Handanovic part. 7 out of 10. We got Ricky Buzz in the house. What's up, bro? Make sure you check out his content as well. He does match reviews and things like that as well. Big Ricky Buzz. Menito says 7 because A, we have no replacement for Handanovic. B, we have no solid backups in defense. Yes, that is also something that we have mentioned on here, and I think will hurt us at some point in the season, because there's no way that Skriniar, De Vrij, and Bastoni can be fit throughout the season, and they obviously should be rested as well at some point. So we'll see. Ali says 7.5. Hakimi and Lukaku leaving was a pain in the ass, but us replacing them has been impressive. I think we have a better attack despite losing Lukaku. Yeah, I agree with that one. It was very painful, but the way that we replace people is definitely giving me confidence now. Ricky, wow, he's super positive. 9 out of 10. I see us maybe getting someone in January. Plus, we finally got 2 striking options reinforced. Yep, exactly. We lost Lukaku, but striker-wise, we have improved in terms of depth for sure. Only negatives are no Nandes and Handanovic. Yeah, honestly, someone probably is going to clip me, but I was saying the whole Mercato that Nandes is going to come, in my opinion, because he wants it. Inter want him. He pretty much went on strike for us, but then now in the end, it just seems like it's not happening. Cagliari just, man, those guys, I just don't want to deal with those guys anymore. We do so many favors for those guys, and it just seems to be a one-way street with those guys. So disappointing. I was expecting us to go like a last-minute attempt for Nandes once again, but it looks like it's not happening. The last time we had such circumstances, we replaced Eto'o with 4. Like, this one is a solid 7. And yeah, that's what it felt like, when we started talking about Lukaku leaving, and there was talks of, not having any money to replace him with. But in the end, Beppe did his thing as usual. I remember when Lukaku stuff happened, many people were saying they felt disconnected from the club. Looking back on it now, we definitely all overreacted. Yeah, I never said I know you're not saying that I said that, but I never felt that far of being disconnected from the club, and especially afterwards when everyone found out that Lukaku was the one who wanted to leave. So even if, let's say, we weren't in financial, issues, we still would have had to sell Lukaku, because you don't want to keep a player who wants to leave. So the Lukaku, it was more the Hakimi thing. The Hakimi thing was like the one that we were kind of forced into. Hakimi was happy to stay. He didn't push for the move. It just kind of, developed because there was that need. So yeah, there definitely was some overreaction, I think, and it's understandable. I overreacted as well. I was like, "Oh, they're dismantling the project. This is disgraceful and all this kind of stuff." But that's what we as fans do. We feel it, especially when something so quickly after winning a Scudetto happens. Conte leaving, Hakimi, Auriali, Lukaku, like it was just like a attack on us. But now, with time, everything, time always heals everything, especially if you do things correctly. Uncle Sean, what do you think? We do the domestic treble, Coppa Italia, Supercoppa. I mean, treble I think is a little bit far, but I can definitely see a possible double. I mean, Supercoppa is definitely. I think Inzaghi's won that at Lazio with a much weaker squad. That's a one-off game. Usually played was in like December, January time. In a neutral venue, and yeah, you can definitely win that. Even if the team was dismantled, you can still win that. Even if the team was like we lost everyone, you can still win that one-off match. So we can definitely win the Supercoppa, and yeah, the Scudetto for sure. I think Coppa Italia with the Champions League commitments, I think that's a little bit too much. But a double is definitely doable if everything falls in the right place. 6 out of 10 Kingdarian, a little bit harsher than others on here. No new goalkeeper, defender, but good. Damage limitation, yeah, that's the good word. Damage limitation. Hey, thank you. Got my trim the other day. Appreciate that. Compared to the rest of the league, 8.5. Yes, good point, Akeem. Just how I was harsh on Inter in my Serie A prediction because I'm comparing it to the other teams in the league. Now, was it? I made that prediction like 7-10 days ago, something like that, or 2 weeks ago. Everything's changed already. A lot of the teams there's been a lot of development. So when you compare it to the other teams now, the Mercato sounds even better. Cloudshine in the house, regular in the house, of course. 5 out of 10. I think that might be the lowest rating that we've had until now. Bellew says he would like to point out 2 transfers: Esposito to Basel, Mulattieri to Crotone. They are doing very well. After the season, the value will grow. Plus Valencia, of course. Ozilio is always looking at those. Plus Valencia. Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on those Esposito, Mulattieri, Esposito especially. But yeah, we'll see. They're doing well for now. 10 now if we get Raspadori. Omar says he's an Interista at heart. Badr says Lukaku is salty but pretty mature business. Yeah, in the end, we know that was just small 150 million. You're not going to get that money for Lukaku probably ever again. So you just you have to do it. And the player wanted to leave. 8 if Dumfries shows to be a baller. 5 if Dumfries is a flop. Wow, there's no middle there. You went from 8 to 5. Like there's no middle. I thought you could have said like 7 in between. But fair enough. Klaushan says he said give 8.5. Problem is Brozovic backup. That's another good point. The Brozovic backup, the defense backup, and the proper starting goalkeeper. Yeah. But Dagger says I love Real Madrid. Okay, yeah, we welcome to the channel, whoever you are. Upside, great new coach, but a smooth gameplay, great option in attack, midfield balanced out, new threat from set pieces, wing play is added threat. Yes, sir, spot on. The best in the Inter is Correa. Yeah, Correa is looking like a big signing. And we got Sharif. Oh, he's a new channel member. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you joining up the membership. What's up, King? What's up, you, King? But yeah, guys, thank you for the comments. I'm going to go into my Mercato rating. So I'm going to share my screen. I've prepared like a little slide. So I'm not going to speak on it too much. I pretty much agree with most of your views. So first of all, the outgoing Mercato, this was a disaster, of course, and this is due to this guy here, Steven Zhang. I mean, it's not completely his fault. The situation that's developed is definitely, the management of his dad, Suning in general, the whole pie that, ended up, hurting Inter as well. And then in the end, very strict demands from the ownership that said, we need to make at least 80 to 100 million in net transfer profit this season, plus 15 to 20% wage cuts. So very strict, very difficult orders coming straight from China to Beppe and Ozilio. And yeah, that is because of Suning, the ownership. Everyone has different opinions. Some people are Suning out, some people are, appreciating Suning. As usual, I see both sides of the pie. I am not happy with how this money here, we've sold Lukaku 150 million and Hakimi 68. So much money that we've made in the transfer market, around 170 million euros we've made, but we've only the orders as well said out of the 170 million, only around 45 million have been made available to actually reinvest in the squad. That's what made everyone mad, and that's the annoying part, which is, okay, it's fine, you sell Lukaku, Hakimi, but then you got to reinvest that money properly. But Beppe and Ozilio had to get super creative because of that, but it's not been all bad. We finally managed to get rid of João Mario and Nainggolan, both of them on the free, of course. They've had to cancel both of their contracts. With João Mario, we actually made some savings on agent fees or something that we owed his agent. And then they've also kind of helped us out with Lazaro. But actually, I'm reading that Lazaro is actually just a loan, so I'm deleting that. Lazaro is just a loan. Actually, I might have to just delete Lazaro because I actually thought he was because I didn't include any of the loans out here. So I'm going to delete Lazaro because it's once again, this guy's only going out on a loan. It looked like it was going to be a loan with obligation for 8 million, but it's just a straight up loan. So he's going to come back. The drip lord is going to come back to us again next year. And then there was some contract expiries, the Ashley Youngs of this world and other people like that who just left Padelli. But overall, the outgoing Mercato was not great, even though we got rid of João Mario, Dalbert, Nainggolan, all those types of guys. The Lukaku and Hakimi just complete disaster. But incoming wise, this is where Beppe once again. Beppe, and Ozilio, they're like a tandem, they both work together, but Beppe obviously gets the credit because he's the main guy overseeing everything. He has the final say, the final word on everything. The CEOs of the sporting side. I've given it a 7.5. So this is not considering the Suning. I think if you consider everything, the message they sent out to the football world as well, like how it made us look in the footballing world in general as well, is probably more of a 6.5, I think, with all those different things that went on. But what Beppe and Ozilio have done with their resources given is really, like, these guys really, really deserve a lot of credit this summer, because they have got very creative with very little money. So we've replaced Lukaku pretty much. Edin Dzeko is the Lukaku replacement, which I wasn't hoping for this to be the thing at the beginning when the Dzeko rumors were there. I thought it was going to be Zapata, the real replacement. I thought Dzeko, because he's free, is going to be the makeshift for now. But it looks like he is. But he's looking like a good buy anyway. Free. There's going to be some bonuses paid out if we win. If you get to Champions League, I think there's a Scudetto is a Champions. I think, yeah, if you get the Champions League, I think there's a 1 million bonus or something, or 1.5 million bonus to Roma. So cheap, very cheap. Then on Dumfries, the Hakimi replacement, so to say, 12.5 million plus bonuses to, I think they add up to around 15 million. Very good price. In COVID period as well, it's a good price for someone who's coming off a good tournament. I have my question marks, as I said, on Dumfries. We'll see. The jury is definitely out on Dumfries. I'm not as high on Dumfries as a lot of you guys in my channel and I've seen on social media. The Hakan thing as well. As soon as the Eriksen thing happened, 2-3 weeks later, Hakan is in already. Even if that, these guys moved quickly. Hakan was available. Apparently, Inzaghi has been a big fan. He was done. We only offered him 500k more than he was offered at Milan, and we convinced him to come. So damage limitation really quick in terms of the Lukaku, Hakimi, and Eriksen. So 3 players who are out. Well, with Eriksen, we don't know if he's in or out, but I'm just going to count him as out, and Hakan straight in. So great work there. Cordas, yeah, that one, he's a third choice. He's just a Padelli replacement, I would say. But still, I would say he's an upgrade on Padelli, because Padelli, we saw, he's just not. He was just not even good to be enough to be a backup. He was way too shaky. Cordas, coming in as a starter, he was in for Crotone last year, so I feel like he's slight upgrade there already. And he helps with the UEFA list, because he was an Inter youth product, so he helps. He's got the homegrown, Primavera grown list eligibility. And then Tuku Correa, obviously, the cherry on top, as Inzaghi called it, and we saw why against Hellas Verona, coming in with 2 goals. He's going to be a big help with his a different style of forward that we haven't had for a while, to be honest. So yeah, all of that what costed 40 million, 45 million, and then you have to also account in Zinho van Huysden. I didn't put him there because it's not really this. It wasn't really. It's one of those deals that was already, decided. It just was a case of when are we bringing him back, and I think Inter just had to bring him back this season. I think there must have been some sort of gentleman's agreement with Standard Liège on that one. Pretty expensive. It was a 15-16 million to bring Van Huysden back, and then we loaned him out to Genoa. So overall, this Mercato's costed us about 55 million, something like that. But for what they were given, the situation that we were in, what was available as well, I think Beppe has done it again, man. He's done it again. Like, he's really, really worked magic in this transfer window. That's my opinion anyway. Don't know. What do you guys make of that? Was I a little bit too high with my rating, or do you feel like it's probably about right? It seems like you guys are ranging on around the same. Most of your ratings are around the 7 and 8, with some of them around the 6 and 5 and stuff like that. So it seems like I've kind of gone for like slightly higher than the average a little bit. But I think that Beppe and Ausilio really deserve credit for this summer, and the fact that they've stayed as well. Well, we don't know if Beppe and Ausilio and Bacin, they're signing the new contracts. They said it was all agreed that they're going to extend their contract because they have 1 year left, but it's not been signed yet. But that would be a great signing if we sign Beppe, especially Beppe. I think he's the base of everything. If we manage to keep Beppe, I don't think it matters too much if even Ausilio or some of the other guys leave. If Beppe is there, he's the best CEO in the game, guys. I've said this since we signed him from Juve. He was I made a video when I used to, do videos for Sempre Inter TV. I said that he's the biggest signing of that season when we signed him in that Spalletti season. And I think, yeah, he's proven that. Any Mercato where we keep Bobby Gags as a -2 off the bat. Hey, spot on, fan. I might have to take some points back because of the Bobby Gags factor. You're right. That guy is just here. He's going to be here for life, I think. He's just going to be here for life, that guy. The defense backups might come in January, maybe Onana. Yeah, we'll see. January, we'll think January is more of a reactive window. So January is one of those windows where, God forbid, if someone gets injured, like someone at the back gets injured, or they're suspended or something like that, or there's just Inzaghi just doesn't rate someone particularly and he feels like someone needs to come in. So January is hard to predict, but it's more of a reactive window. But hopefully, yeah, Onana, you can get someone like that. You can get that pre-contract agreement where you agree with them in January that at the end of the season, you can come to us, or you can even get him in January. You pay like a low fee to get him in January, not necessarily play him, but just get him into the team, get embedded in, start learning Italian, start, adapting and everything. Especially for someone like Onana who hasn't played for a while because of the suspension. Yeah, I do believe the Onana rumors because they're becoming quite insistent, and I think when rumors are becoming so insistent, I think there's always some truth to them. I don't know how badly we want him, but he's definitely clearly on the list because he's been mentioned a lot of times now. Yeah, and I hope it is real. But let's take it easy with Onana as well. The guy hasn't played football for a while because of his suspension. So I would rather see him get back into football and see whether he's still at those levels. If Ajax do put him back into the team or whoever, if he goes anywhere. Belu says, since our budget will be low, let's know summer result. Yeah, that's the point, guys, as well. Don't think that this is just a one summer thing. If Suning stay in, you kind of have to expect this run for another summer at least. This austerity Inter. I won't be surprised if we bring back a young Inter player for defense backup. In my opinion, Van Huysden will come back. Yeah, I think he signed a long-term contract excuse me, he signed a long-term contract on Noise, then he signed a 5-year contract before we sent him off to Genoa. So I think the directors are clearly looking for him to be potentially the future in the Inter's defense, and why not? I mean, I'm going to be looking out for Genoa matches just to watch him, because he's made the latest squad for Belgium as well. So he's back in the Belgium team. So he is a good talent that needs to be given time, and just gotta cross your fingers over his knees, because those knee injuries are very difficult to come back from. Juve did better business with respect to the incoming transfers. Both Locatelli and Keane came with delayed payment and huge discounts. Yeah. I guess, I mean, most of the Italian transfers that come with delayed payments, like Correa's the delayed payment, we pay 5 million and then the rest is in installments afterwards. So that's just how things are done in Italy in general. But yeah, Keane, he's coming off some bad years. I mean, he had a good year at PSG last year, but Everton, he's done really not much. So even he was offered to us, like Mino Raiola apparently offered him to us, so we could have got him on loan if we really wanted him. But going from Cristiano Ronaldo to Moise Keane, that's a big downgrade. Yeah, of course, Dumfries will need some time. Of course, you forgot our best transfer, Fedis coming back. Yeah, I didn't put him into the into my graphic, but yeah, actually, no one's actually explained about that one, because last season there was so much confusion whether we had this option to buy him back, or Hellas Verona had the 6 million buy option, and then we had to buy him back for 12 or something like that, and then in the end he just came back. So it must have been some sort of gentleman's agreement between Inter and Hellas Verona that they kind of helped us out, and they said, we won't take that buy option from you guys, so you can just have him back. But no one's really explained that. So technically, he's not really a transfer in. He's just come back from his loan. But I agree, he is like a new signing, of course, and he's an upgrade on Ashley Young. How with us in the group? Yeah, we're in the group with the Real Madrid once again. Obviously, I'll do a preview with a Real Madrid fan for that one. We'll see. I've grown to love Gags. I don't want him to leave. Wow, you're one of the few Nick Knox has grown to love Gags. Gags is the next Ranocchia. Yeah, I think he is. He's just going to be here for lifetime contract for him. If Anna keeps being a flop, we'll probably get Onana on the cheap this January. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't see it. Just he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be that bad where the Inter board is gonna go out for someone straight away. I think he's just gonna have, just like last season, he's gonna have good periods where he makes good saves, and then have like these 1 or 2 matches here and there that were just like, oh man. Oops, sorry. Off topic, have you noticed that Zhang hasn't posted anything on Instagram? Yeah, well, it's best for him to stay quiet, isn't it? And he hasn't been in Milan for a while as well. He's been stuck out in China for a while. He came back to, get the pictures with the Scudetto, with the trophy and stuff, and then went straight back. Gag's wages are low, and he's not an awful backup option. Yeah, no, I don't hate him. I don't hate any interplay on this team. Especially, Gagliardini is a reliable guy. As we said last season, a lot of players were getting injured left, right, and center, but this guy was just reliable, just there all the time, does the job. 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. He just does what's need to be done. Sometimes drops the 5s out of 10s as well, but most of the time he's okay. One thing I love about Onana is how good he's with his feet. Yeah, of course, he's an Ajax school, so if you're from the Ajax school, you know how to play ball. You're a baller. In my mind, it's going to be better if we sell Gagliardini, replace him with Nandes. Yeah, I think Nandes would have been nice as well, an upgrade as a backup as well. And he's so similar to Barella as well. He likes to drift out on that right-hand side, of course, because he plays right wing back a lot as well. And I watched here Cagliari versus Spezia, the first match day, and Nandes was like a standout player that match as well. He played right wing back again. But yeah, he just looks different gravy. And even against Milan when they lost 4-1, he was still one of the better players at Cagliari. Like the guy, I feel sorry for him. The Cagliari director, the president, promised him that he would leave this year, and it just hasn't happened. Yeah, he deserves a big club in general. Raspadori in January, true Interista. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really see the need. If we don't really need a striker in January, I don't really see the point of bringing in Raspadori in January. That will depend on Alexis. If he comes back from his injury, or if we ship him out, then yeah, it makes sense. But now it might be even more difficult to bring in Raspadori because I see that Ciccio Caputo is close to moving to Sampdoria, deadline day transfer. So yeah, I think they only have Scamacca and Raspadori now up front, so they'll probably be pretty keen to keep him. Not anymore. Before we used to be linked to Silvestri, we used to be linked to Cragno, we used to be linked with Juan Musso, went to Atalanta. But no, that's the issue. We're not really linked with the keeper apart from Onana. We don't see links to any keeper, which is what is annoying. It seems like it's not a priority, the Handanovic situation. No one is like no one's really moving. No one's seems to be addressing the issue. Exactly, Nick Stocks, the silence now. Everyone was making fun. Dzeko, 35 years old, all this retirement home and all that. Now they're pretty quiet, especially after 1 point in 2 games. So yeah, that's what football, real football does to you. Everyone can talk, in the Mercato in the summer, everyone's like blah blah blah. But when football is happening, when the real stuff happens, that's when you know the truth. Lube in the mood. Sorry, hope it lasts. I still have PTSD from facing Allegri's Juve. Yeah, we'll see what they're made of. What would make of Atalanta game? Toin Coop Miners. Yeah, I've never watched him play. I've seen some clips of him. He looks like a neat and tidy footballer. Dutch players I've seen videos of him. He looks good, but I can't really judge. But Atalanta usually they don't really seem to get too many transfers wrong. So I'm sure he's going to be a good pickup, and he was only like 12, 14 million as well. So it's really good price as well. Yeah, Zhang, they're facing some serious stuff in China. Yeah, they're struggling. So Inter is like bottom of the pile for their worries. What do you think of Messias to our cousins, Junior Messi ass? Honestly, they're having a meltdown. Like on my Twitter timeline today, I feel like they're overreacting, the Milan fans. I know it doesn't sound great. A guy who got relegated with Crotone, he's 30 years old. He only started playing professionally at the age of 25, 26. But for the terms I'm reading, 3 million loan with like option to buy for like 6 or 8 million or something like that, like 10 million in total. That's pretty cheap. And last season, some of the numbers that guy put up, he was right up there with the Paul in terms of dribbling numbers, ball carries, chance creation. Like he was right up there. He's very versatile, good left foot. As I said, good dribbling, good speed, and he's not going to be a starter. I think he's just there for depth. So I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's a pretty smart move. Very very his wages are going to be like nothing because he's coming from Crotone. So I think they're overreacting a lot of Milanistas. They've had a pretty good transfer market, in my opinion. I see why a lot of people like Nandes, but he might just be another Medel fighter, but nothing world class. Both Cagliari games, he was average. Yeah, but he's playing I don't think that's his position. That's what I'm saying. Like he's playing right wing back, but that's not really his position, in my opinion. He should be playing centre mid, box to box. And he's much more technical than Medel. He's got that fighter spirit, but Medel was never particularly very technical. Like Nandes has got technique as well. He's got goals in his game as well. I think he's I'm not saying he's a world class player. I don't think he's a world class player, but he deserves a bigger club than Cagliari for sure. Just open the stream. We talked about lack of depth in centre back. Yeah, we talked about it. We touched on it. Overtaking Zuma from Chelsea. Yeah, but the problem with those Premier League guys is their salaries. The Zuma probably earns just the same amount as Skriniar, De Vrij, and Bastoni. Like the problem with the Premier League wages. But yeah, that would have been a good buy. But D'Ambrosio renewed his contract. Ranocchia renewed his contract. Kolarov renewed his contract. So clearly, the ownership were already, decided that these guys are going to be the backups. I'm fine with the D'Ambrosio and Ranocchia. We saw Ranocchia over the years, especially since Conte came in. And if you strictly play him in the central of the three, he's fine there. He's an okay backup. He seems to he minimizes mistakes and things like that. Brings experience, things like that, height. D'Ambrosio, yeah, he's just the right centre back now. He's not. I hope he's not really considered as a wing back by Inzaghi. He's lost his pace and athleticism really, but his defensive ability is still good. He's a good ball playing defender. Of course, we know his goals that he can score from far post and things like that. He's amazing. You know, he's wears his heart on the sleeve. But you've also seen, like, you know, yeah, he's dipped as well. And Kolarov on the other side, that's the big worry if Bastoni is injured. But we know DiMarco can also play. Actually, yeah, let's see. Let's have a look at the depth of our team. I've made a little one of those squad builders. Let me zoom in. There we go. So this is our squad depth for this season. So yeah, obviously some of those players can play multiple positions. In goal, as you know, this is kind of the weak point at the moment. Handanovic, Radu, and Kodaz. I hope, as I keep saying, that if Handanovic does have a disaster class here and there, Inzaghi is willing to put Radu or Kodaz, you know, make him feel that he's challenged for his spot. But it is what it is in that position, guys. There's nothing we can do. Right centre back, Skriniar, of course, is the given starter. Then Lord, D'Ambrosio, and of course Darmian can also play in there if needed. We saw last season he can play left centre back as well. To be fair, I think that's the actual position he played in. I think it was against Sassuolo last season, if I remember correctly. He played in the left centre back of the three, Darmian, and he did quite well. But yeah, from the drop off from Bastoni is the worrying one. You know, Kolarov. He showed last season. It was mainly more at the beginning when we were playing the high line, but if we play like how we've been playing recently with the high line, then he's a year older as well, and he's still a big worry, Kolarov. Especially if you have to play him in a big game like we had last year, like when we played him in the derby. Oh my god, still have PTSD from that. DiMarco played that position as well for Hellas Verona, but Hellas Verona is very different, you know, beast playing that position, and defensively is where I worry about DiMarco more anyway. So, and his height especially is worrying. So there is a big drop off there. As I said, I'm fine with Ranocchia, but ideally we would like to upgrade there as well. But we're fine with Ranocchia as well. And, you know, he decreased his salary, fair play to him, renewed his contract. Right wing back, Darmian is clearly the starter for now, but we'll see. Maybe by the end of the season, Denzel Washington, Dumfries can overtake him. But yeah, I think we're sorted there. Perisic on the other side is the starter for now, but I feel like DiMarco will take over from him by the end of the season. That's my prediction, and my hope. I finally get a Primavera guy coming in and, you know, winning, being a starter in this team, and I think his left foot is deserving of that. As long as he can sort out his defensive issues. Yeah, that's defensively we're there. We can improve there, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Midfield, Brozovic. That's another area of concern a little bit, because we've seen when Brozovic can have these off games like he had against Hellas Verona. There's not really a true vice Brozovic. There's many players that can play the vice Brozovic, as in some players can fit in there. You know, Sensi for the national team, he's played in that position a couple of times, and he used to play that for Sassuolo as well before we signed him. But Conte never played him there. But maybe Inzaghi could potentially see him there. He's definitely got the technical ability, but defensively and covering ground and tackling wise, it could be a worry. Since in that position, we saw against Hellas Verona, Barella kind of dropped into that position after Brozovic was taken off and Vidal came off. So Barella can definitely play that position, but you would much rather keep Barella higher up the pitch in his proper box-to-box position in the mezzala role. Agume is gone, so the other kind of natural vice Brozovic isn't there anymore. Yeah, so that position is a little bit of a concern, and we'll see how Inzaghi addresses that. But usually Brozovic is pretty reliable. He hardly ever gets injured. The only worries is like when he gets suspended or whatever. And he's usually pretty consistent. And the other ones, yeah, same as the other position as the other one. You know, they're pretty interchangeable. Hakan's definitely the left centre mid starter for now. But I think, you know, Sensi, I think is right up in there. You know, it looks like Inzaghi does like Sensi. Physically, it would look like Sensi's starting to get there. Fingers crossed. I don't want to jinx him once again, but he's looking like, without Pintus, he might be okay this season, maybe. And then obviously you can put Vidal, Vecino on this side as well, as I've put them on this side. But it's a very versatile midfield. But yeah, the only real specialist position in there, the only real specialist is Brozovic. Everyone else kind of can do a role here and there. I mean, even Vidal, if you're really struggling, you can even put Vidal in the Brozovic position. But I really don't want to see that. We know what his discipline is like. I mean, if he has to play a role like that, even probably forgot about Gagliardini. What am I doing? Lord Gagliardini. That's apologies to the Lord there, Gallia. He's of course there, but he's been injured, so that's probably why I completely forgot about him. But of course, how can I forget about Gagliardini? But yeah, midfield, in terms of numbers wise, we're fine. Midfield, I think you could definitely up the quality of some of the backups, as we said, Vice Brozovic. I mean, you could even, we've talked about this, you could probably even improve on Brozovic really at some point now, but it's just hard, especially with the money and the lack of money, and the Hakan position as well. I was hoping, Hakan's a great signing on a free, similar characteristics to Eriksson, technical midfielder, set piece taker, can add goals and assists. But I was hoping for, the Rodrigo de Paul type of mode, a ball carrying midfielder, a dribbling midfielder, someone that can take you out of tricky situations, like when the Hellas Verona marking you man for man, a guy who can take the ball and run with it rather than just passing it around and gets intercepted. Someone that adds a different dimension to the game. But fine with Hakan, trying to play that Luis Alberto role. I think he'll be fine. And then obviously up front, this is where I think we've qualitatively we'll have to see by the end of the season. We'll have a look how many goals the strikers have scored, but numbers wise, we've actually improved. Last season we only had we had Lukaku and Lautaro. Those were the starters pretty much 90% of the time, and then the only real alternative was Alexis Sanchez. And he was pretty unreliable because he got injured here and there. And then he was mainly the Lautaro substitute, really. Or, sometimes here and there, Lautaro and Alexis would play together. Pinamonti was not seen at all hardly even used by Conte. Here and there, Perisic even played up there, which was not great, to be honest. But this season, we've actually got good depth there. So we got Dzeko and Lautaro as the starters now, because I think that's the starting duo at the moment. But then if Lautaro, needs rest or he needs to be subbed, as we saw against Hellas Verona, you got Tucu Correa now coming in. I think his position is definitely as the second striker. And of course, Alexis Sanchez when he comes back from injury. So we've got already two alternatives to one spot there. And then obviously Lautaro can be an alternative to Dzeko and Satriano, who looks like he's being kept. And you could also add Correa in that mix as well. Correa could also play as the main number 9 if really, really needed, because we saw against the Hellas Verona, Sensi came on in the second striker position. So you could even add Sensi in this part, because Inzaghi seems like he's quite happy to play Sensi there. And then Correa went up in like the main striker, and he said like he can play both roles, but he prefers to be this guy here, the one roaming around the main striker. So overall, in my opinion, the depth has actually got better in this Mercato, and that's why I gave it 7.5. The depth is improved. With Sensi coming back to kind of fitness, once again, I don't want to jinx him. Hakan and Di Marco upgrading on Young, and here the striker position, we've definitely added better depth now. I think overall the squad is looking really, really good. So I am quite happy with how everything has worked out, to be honest. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the Lord Gags. Yeah, Gallo will be available. I haven't really checked the news, but I think he will be available against Sampdoria. Kolarov still alive. Yep, he's still alive. Mati Dom, LCB, the backup season, of course. No, without Regista, no. Yeah, exactly. Vicino played Bro's role under Spalletti. Yeah, but if Vicino receiving the ball with the back to the play, facing the defenders. Nothing I want to see. And Gagliardini as well. He played that as well. And yeah, it's definitely something I don't want to see. Kessie will replace Brozo. It's one to keep an eye out on. I mean, the salary he's asking for is kind of out of our range as well now, to be honest. I was kind of it was a bit of a joke, and then I was kind of serious about it because it does look like Milan are not going to re-sign him because he's asking for too much. They have a very strict budget. But even for us now, because of we're trying to reduce our budget, so he might be out of our budget as well now. But it would be one to keep an eye out on. We never know. No, Salcedo, I think he's pretty much going. I think he's going to. I wouldn't consider Salcedo anyway, man. The guy, even in preseason, Inzaghi didn't even give him like 10 minutes in preseason. Yeah, I'll go through the news. Sorry, I'm late. No worries, Harry. No need to apologize for being late. Really looking forward to this season. I actually think we're better than last season. We look more like a team. Yeah. A few people have said that. I don't know if we're better than last season, but as I've said, I feel like the depth is better than this season. And we've actually have a preseason last year. We didn't have a proper preseason. Let's not forget. So there's pros and cons compared to last season, but it's definitely not doom and gloom. First time joining you live. Ahoy Mas Januar says, I like your work. Greet from Indonesia. Yes, sir. My Bahasa brother. Whenever Vecino is in, we're one man down. Hey. I disagree with that. No Vecino slander on this channel. I like what Vecino brings in. I don't think he's great or anything, but I do like what Vecino brings in. Salcedo going to Spezia. Yeah, let me have a look. So I'm going to take you through. I'm going to end it with the latest Inter news. So transfer deadline day. Sky Sports News or Uncle Sharma Punjab Sky Punjab News. Using sempreinter.com. So, first of all, Inter have fulfilled Suning's financial targets set for the transfer window. As I mentioned earlier, they had very strict targets of raising around 120 million, it says here, and then reducing the wage bill by around 25 million, which has been mission accomplished. A significant reduction of the wage bill was also targeted, between the departures and arrivals. The renewal of certain squad members on reduced terms and the departure of Conte, who he was earning 13 million net a season, and you paid them a severance payment of 7.5 million, while Inzaghi earns 4 million per season net. The 25 million reduction targeted is reported to have been achieved. Actually, someone on Twitter did a good thread on this. Bernard at Sir PHRA. He calculated. He's a financial expert, and he calculated like the cost savings on Inter's books actually from some of the moves. So like Lukaku's gross wages and Hakimi's gross wages, the savings and everything on that. With the amortization, 70 million, profit on Lukaku when you take into account his wages and amortization. 27 million for Hakimi, 10 million for Politano. Then we had to take a loss in terms of the Raja and João Mario to pay them off. But overall, we've managed to reduce a 14% cost cut. So they were aiming for around 15 to 20%. So it's almost there in terms of that, that cost cut. One big news though coming out today, the Lautaro's agent is confirmed pretty much. It's not been made official, but the agent's confirming it that the Lautaro Martinez has agreed a new contract, so he's going to be staying at Inter. Martinez looks set to extend his contract, commit his future. His agent, Camano, makes it clear that he's totally happy to stay. He says, "Together, we made Lautaro and his family happy. He has always wanted to stay with the Nerazzurri." So that is great news, man. Where is it? There it is. So he's going to be earning around 6 or 6.5 million net. Yeah, that's kind of the figure I was saying about, a few weeks ago. I was predicting around 5.5/6. Looks like, because they asked for kind of 7. They've met in the middle around 6.5. probably with bonuses and stuff like that. He's away and currently on international duty, but when he's back, first order of business will be signing the new contract, which will take him past 2023. Yeah, so that's great news, man. Lautaro to be staying. There was rumors of him as well, but that's great news. Tying him down. Outgoing. So today it's been official that Lucien Agume, he signed an extension, but also he's gone to Brest in Ligue 1 for the French team. So Ligue 1 Brest. Here it says they're in pole position, but actually just a couple of hours ago it was made official that he's moved to them. So good luck to Lucien Agume, man. He's a talented midfielder, very young still. He's got loads of time. He signed an extension with us, so it seems like the club still have some faith in him, but it's also, to make more profit on him if we do sell him on more plus Valenza. But yeah, good luck to him. He definitely needs to develop his off the ball game. Like, on the ball, he's very good, the boy. Very technical, good passing, good touch. But off the ball, he really, really needs to work on his game. Apparently, Fernando Llorente, who's now a free agent, offered himself to Inter. But yeah, we're okay, bro. We're okay. We don't need you. Satriano. So it looks like he's staying. As I was saying earlier, that's why I included him in my squad depth picture. Cagliari apparently tried to get him, but yeah, we don't want to do Cagliari any more favors now. We said no once again to him going to Cagliari. Cagliari amongst the team interested, continuing their pursuit and hoping that they convince Nerazzurri. But it appears that Inter manager Inzaghi wants to include him in the first team plans despite no shortage of suitors. And yeah, Inter are keen on keeping him in the squad rather than seeing him depart, which is, I said my preference was definitely to let him go on loan because these youngsters need time away in terms of getting minutes under their legs. I didn't even share the screen with you. Apologies. But yeah, if Inzaghi is saying that he wants to keep him rather than loan him out, and there was Crotone who were linked with them, a Serie B team, and if it's Crotone or these Serie B teams, I'd rather keep him. But if there was a more serious team and more like how Esposito went to Basel, those kind of little bit higher level, I would be keen. But we've seen like when you go to Serie B or these Italian teams, sometimes you don't even get the minutes, so you might as well just keep him. And without, our depths are not amazing. We've definitely got more depth than last season, but we've seen Inzaghi is a lot more keen to substitute players and rotate a little bit more than Conte. And I think he will get some more chances than he would under a coach like than he would have got under someone like Conte. And I think physically as well, this guy is ready. The debut against Genoa, you could see he was very nervous and stuff, but I'm sure slowly he can he was just a bit on nerves, he'll be fine. So I'm fine with keeping the 20-year-old. I would have preferred him to go on loan, but you never know this guy, if Dzeko gets injured or someone gets some sort of injury or suspension, this guy could get his chance and he could take it with both hands, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays an important part of the season. A lot of Interisti have a lot of faith in him, quite rightly. And then outgoing Inter still working on 7 player departures. I think this is probably less now because this article was a few hours ago. So according to calciomercato.com, the likes of Valentino Lazzaro, Lazzaro is done now. He's gone on loan to Benfica, season-long loan. There's no obligation to buy as there was before. I'm not sure if there's an option to buy, but we know they're not going to take that anyway. There's no point of that. So that one is done. We'll see. Hopefully, he does well out there and convinces them to buy him. Lucien Agume, as I just mentioned, going to Brest. Eduardo Vergani, one of the youth players, he's also looking to leave. Facundo Colidio, Eddie Salcedo, Stefano Sesta, I've never heard about this guy, and Etienne Kinkue are all close to the exit door. Etienne Kinkue actually is done. Etienne Kinkue completes Olympiacos transfer. I was hearing good things about Kinkue because apparently he was quite an impressive, powerful defender in the Primavera. So I was quite disappointed to hear he's going to Athens to Olympiacos. Only 300,000 euros as well, with a percentage of resale. But Yeah, he joined us in 2019. Failed to make enough of an impression during his time in Milan to break into the first team, but yeah, it's a shame. Another one that didn't make the grade, so he's gone. Let me see. Is there any? I'm gonna update this Sempre Inter to see if there's any latest news. So yeah, Lucy Naguma is official. Let's have a look. Facundo Colidio, where is he going? Facundo Colidio, it looks like he's going to Austria Vienna. Facundo Colidio is set to join Austria Vienna on loan for the rest of the season. Yeah, this guy was supposed to be, big prospect coming from when we signed from Argentina, but this guy has really flopped. Like last year, he was in Sint Truiden in Belgium, and yeah, I don't think he even scored a goal for them. Now he's going to go to Vienna. Hopefully there's better out there. Someone was mentioning earlier, is there any more links? Once again, we're linked to Cranio, Alex Merritt, and Andre Onana as Samir Handanovic replacements. This is Sport Media said, who's not the greatest source, but at least we're starting to get linked to some players in that position finally. But we'll see what happens. Inter complete the signing of Shamrock Rovers wonder kid Kevin Zeffi. So yeah, this will be the Irish kid that's going to the Primavera, 16-year-old. So yeah, I have no clue what he's like, or but we'll keep an eye on him. You never know. Inter Keita Balde to join Cagliari. Okay, this guy loves scoring against Inter, so not great news for us. Valentino Lazzaro leaves Inter for season-long loan at Benfica. There is Saucedo. Looks like Saucedo's future with either Genoa or Cagliari. Calciomercato.com support that Genoa are still favourites, but Cagliari could beat them to the signature. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to do business with Cagliari, but in this case, they would be doing us a favor, really, because he's clearly Inzaghi didn't really rate the guy. He didn't even give him minutes in preseason, so that's probably for the best for Salcedo. Yeah, just talked about Satriano not going out on loan. Did you forget? Oh, yeah, I mean, I think so. It's because someone said Vecino is the only midfielder who can score with his head. Yeah, he's one of the few who can score only with his head. But yeah, respect Arturo Vidal's ability in the air. Hey, Harry says he's ordering his Lautaro home kit. Nice one, bro. You definitely, at least with that one, it's not like the Lukaku one. You can sure at least for this season he's staying. No promises about next season. We will also get rid of Kolarov's and Vidal's wages next June. Yeah. But the thing is, with the wages, now the work will be to renew the contract. So with Lautaro, he's earning around like 2.5, 3 million a season, even if that. And now we're pretty much doubling them, like more than doubling his wages. Brozovic's new contract is going to be discussed. He's going to go from around 3.5 to 4, 5, 6 maybe. So again, big wage increase. De Vrij is also going to increase if we sign a new contract for him. Barella is probably going to be double. So we're saving wages in some parts, but then these renewals are coming as well, and they're going to be quite hefty. And quite rightly, these guys deserve the money that they're going to get. Brest, yeah, I always giggle when I say that. Busy at work, but popped in to say hi. Yeah, appreciate you, Tommy, man, my guy. Needs Satriano to have a Caramo versus Bologna-esque moment this season. Hey, yeah, that would be nice. That Caramo goal. But maybe, sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. My StreamYard has been a bit weird recently. Sorry. I'd rather him have just a steady, okay career like for this year. Like even if he doesn't really score any goal, like at least just contribute, come into games and see games out. Maybe get Coppa Italia games. Maybe get some time in the Coppa Italia. Hopefully, something like that. Mulattieri's balling out. Crotone, goals in 3 games so far. Yeah, yeah, I do like him. I think he's a little bit underrated. He had 19 goals last year in Belgium, or sorry, in the Dutch second division. So yeah, he's worth keeping an eye on. Nick Knox bought a Lukaku jersey and Ericsson jersey. Yeah, the Ericsson jersey's alright, man. Ericsson jersey. Well, I've seen a lot of people actually buying Ericsson jersey this season, even though we know what's happened with Ericsson. It's kind of more like a reminder, like a support for Ericsson. Did we get Onana from Ajax? No, there's no agreement, nothing yet for Onana. It's just rumors at the moment. But that would be the smart move. Have I ever watched an Inter match at the stadium? If I did, what's the best one? Yes, I've watched 2 or 3 matches. I've watched Inter Napoli when Mazzari used to be there. That was like a 2-2 match. It wasn't bad. It was a good match to watch, but it wasn't great because it was like mid-Banta era. And then 2 years ago, I watched Inter Juventus when Spalletti was there, 1-1. Nainggolan scored that banger. Remember that banger from outside the box, from the corner. What a goal! And then Ronaldo scored the equalizer. That was a good match as well. But yeah, I haven't been too many times. I do want to go again for sure this season. Hopefully, maybe in the spring or summer. Speaking of Karen was headed to Sheffield United. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that guy, man. I never really particularly rated that guy. Who the heck cares about Inter's bomb? Griezmann returns to Atletico. Is that actually happening? I'm gonna have to check that out afterwards. Nice work. What's up, Oak? Carmo goal versus Bologna was so good. It was really good. It was like his weak foot as well. It was like such a good goal. Went past the player. Papa. Yeah, he's gone to Sheffield United apparently. I never really rated him. He was never particularly that. He was talented. Like he's good 1v1, had a good pace, but mentality you could always see he was never that good. I don't mind the Ericsson jersey because not his fault exactly, but Lukaku, yeah. Will I go to San Siro this season? I hope to go to the San Siro this season, man. I hope to. It's such a good stadium, and yeah, after a while, I've been for like 2 years. Yeah, Hernanes' goal was insane. Yeah, I don't remember if Hernanes scored in that match or not. I can't remember. Definitely remember Freddie Guarin scoring last minute, or like, in the dying minutes off the corner. Honestly, still gonna wear the Lukaku jersey because I spent $100 on it. Yeah, bro, it's still rep it. Like I don't get it. Like yeah, I could understand the Icardi thing was more anger towards Icardi because he literally refused to play for the club and all these types of things. But Lukaku, the guy, especially you wearing the Scudetto patch, and the guy helped us get that Scudetto patch. Like you can't deny that he is one of the big reasons why we won that Scudetto last season. So if anything, the guys from last season should be wearing that kit. Like all those guys from last season deserve to have a Scudetto patch. Whoever was part of that team, Hakimi as well, he deserves to have that Scudetto patch because really and truly they're the ones that that squad that brought the Scudetto. So I don't think you should feel any type of way about wearing Lukaku jersey. It is what it is, man. That's football. Yeah, we mentioned Harry Esposito doing well at Basel. He's got like 3 or 4 goals, a free kick goal as well the other day, 2 or 3 assists. He's made like 3 out of the 4 team of the week for the Swiss league. So he's doing really well, and he's playing more like as a winger / attacking mid. So yeah, at Inter he played as like a forward, didn't he? So I think his position is definitely more as a creative player rather than a striker, as maybe we thought at the beginning of his career. But we're definitely going to keep an eye out for the boy. You bought Ericsson last April, but then yeah, stuff happened. But yeah, even the Ericsson one, I would buy an Ericsson kit myself if they weren't so expensive. Feeling better about the Mercato than a few weeks ago. Love that we got more technical strikers. Yes, that's something I've been talking about in my videos a lot. We've upgraded technique wise, we've upgraded, and depth wise, options wise. Inzaghi can bring on physical option, with Dzeko, Satriano, or you can bring on pace and trickery and ability with Correa. You can bring on technique and just that creating things out of nothing with Alexis. So you got a lot of options, or you can go with the more technical option with CNC if you want. So guys, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I am looking forward to seeing more Inter, watching more of Inter. Thoughts of Salcedo alone. I still believe now. I've never really seen I don't know what he's good at, Salcedo. I don't know if he's good at dribbling. I don't know if he's good at finishing. I don't know if he's. I don't even know if he's quick or not. I need to see him play somewhere on a regular basis to understand like what type of player he is, and he never really seems to get that much of a chance. Thibaut Persson is also playing well at Bruges. Scored a scream in his first game. He's a right wing back, right, or something like that. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna be coming back. But you never know. Hey Ricardo, I rated it. If you scroll back, I rated it a 7.5 out of 10. Without talking about the outgoings. You wear your Ericsson shirt when you go to see Inter versus Venezia. Nice. And that way I'll be able to sit in the neutral zone without getting bullied. Nice, yeah. This season will be fun because we won't know what to expect from Inter and the other teams. Yeah, this season is so open, guys. Like, I'm going to do an updated version of my predictions now with everything that's broken. But let's see, look, without Ronaldo, I'm going to finish on this. Without Cristiano, and we see now Juve are playing. My prediction was, Juve finishing top. But now, for me, Inter have become favorites once again. Because Inzaghi was given what he was wanted. He was given Correa, he was given Dzeko, he was given Dumfries. Things have been solidified a little bit more. There's not been any more players leaving as well. The doubt is kind of gone about, Lautaro could leaving. Players are signing new contracts. Obviously, we made a good start. The style of play as well, as we said with Conte, we were kind of getting not fed up of it, but it wasn't the most entertaining games to watch most of the time. But with Inzaghi, just the fact that there's new ideas, new style of play and all that kind of stuff. So it just gives you that extra bit of interest in the games now. And yeah, the other teams with Spalletti there, Sarri's Lazio looking really, really good. Mourinho's Roma is really interesting. Milan's continue going, man. These guys are so annoying. Like I thought they might have a drop off this season, but these guys purely just keeps them playing well. Atalanta had a bit of a shaky start, but we know what those guys are like. They'll be up there as well. The top 7 is just so competitive. It's just so hard to call. I have no clue who will make the top 4. I have no clue who will, miss out. It's going to be a really entertaining season, and the gaps at the top are going to be so close because as we've seen in the first few games, the quality of the newly promoted teams is so bad. Like Venezia, Salernitana, it's just so low, the quality. Even like Genoa, these teams that usually are okay, like the quality is becoming quite low in the bottom half of the table. So for that reason, the big teams are going to get even more points. So the point gap is going to be really, really close. I don't think any team, whoever's going to win, is not going to be a washout like Inter last year, like an easy win, like 3 or 4 games in advance. I think it's going to be right down to the wire. Whoever wins this. Salcedo Dante Spezia, there you go. Sorry, I didn't see it because it's not come up on the Sempre Inter website yet, but that's probably better for him if he's going to get more playing time against the Thiago Motta. Yeah, we'll see. Then we can finally judge the guy. Salcedo's good instincts from the box, from what I see. He's a poacher. Okay. I thought he was more like a winger type player, but as again, I don't really know. I don't ever seen him play. We'll never forget that you think How I Met Your Mother is unfunny. Hey, man, my personal opinion, I just think like it's a very basic show that's just like super mainstream, but I don't really see why. But it's more of a joke when I was joking on Twitter. It's not that bad, but it's definitely not one of my favorite shows. Satriano and Esposito too are the only 2 I believe in. Yeah, I can see why. Sharma respect Keane. No, I respect Keane. I would have been happy if he came to Inter, especially, with Lazaro leaving, we needed some drip. We need some drip to come back into the team. But I just don't see him at the level that some people seem to see him as, like, some sort of Balotelli talent level. He did okay at Juve. He had like 8 goals in 20-something games, which is pretty good. And then Everton, he did nothing. He had a good year at PSG, but I don't think, especially going from Cristiano to Keane, Morata and Moise Kean from Ronaldo is just massive drop off, man. Who will be the face of Serie A after Lukaku, Ronaldo leave? Arturo Vidal, bro. Arturo, El King, El Rey Arturo. Nah, I'm joking. Probably, yeah, it has to be, I don't know, Barella, I guess. Barella, Chiesa. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, you know, everyone's left now. Depaul's left. Donnarumma's left. Everyone's left. Hakimi's left. We'll see this season who's going to be the face, but for now, it probably is like, you know, Barella, or, you know, one of the Italy boys that won the Euros, Barella or Chiesa. Is Thiagone Motta a good manager? Yeah, I hope so as well. In my prediction, I said that Spezia are going to stay up just because of Motta, just because there's no tactical, you know, in that. There was no tactical knowledge behind that. I was just saying, just because of Thiago Motta, I just want him to do well. But that squad as well, it's not just Thiago Motta's fault. You know, they've invested in. There's a very young squad. The defense is awful. That's why, you know, what the Italiano did last year is really, really underrated job. Brozo has a Slav drip. A former boy Manai is going to Spezia. Yeah. From Barcelona to Spezia. If that's okay, can I ask where you're from? Because your accent is so perfect. My English accent, yeah, I live in the UK, bro. Leicester, UK, but I grew up in Italy. I grew up in Modena in Italy. So I don't know if you're talking about my accent when I mentioned the player names or my English accent. Keane and all that. At best, he'll score 8 to 10 goals. Yeah. I mean, that's a good return. If you're swapping in between Morata and him, if they can both get 8 to 10 goals, it's okay-ish, but definitely not that great. Lautaro, of course, yeah, Lautaro could be the face. He's got that marketable face. But if we're going off the face, it has to be Joaquin Correa, you know. The guy, he's got the face, he's got the model face. He could be the face of Serie A. You know, if Dolce and Gabbana want to have someone who's the model for Serie A. Yeah, he definitely needs to better players for the way he wants to play. But he needs to prove himself as well at some point. But yeah, guys, 1 hour, 12 minutes. That was my transfer deadline Mercato review. Bit of a quiet Mercato deadline for Interisti. More outgoing than incoming. But overall, you know, we talked about the Mercato. Everyone's given their out of 10 rating. Mostly people seem to be happy with it. I know some of you guys are 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I was 7.5 out of 10. But yeah, well done to Beppe and Auxilio once again, man. Shout out to those guys. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in, you guys, man. Appreciate everyone that's supporting the channel. If you're new to the channel as well, appreciate you guys. Make sure before you guys leave, make sure you leave a thumbs up to the stream. If you're catching this later, make sure you leave a thumbs up, a comment before you leave with your rating and things like that. And yeah, over the international period, I'll try to do some content. It's difficult to do content in this period because we've only had 2 games now. There's not that much to talk about really. So yeah, I'm open to ideas if you guys have any ideas on the content to make over the international break. I don't know if I'm going to make any Azzurri content because I was in the Euros, but I don't know if I'm going to make Azzurri content for Nations League. I don't think it's going to be that interesting. Ricardo says 8 out of 10, so he's one of the more positive ones. Yeah, so he's not too far off what I said. But yeah, guys, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter.